Francisco. Hi, this is Ellen Francisco. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I wanted to talk about the eclipse that's coming up on June 5th. It's a doozy, so buckle your seatbelts, people, and get ready for a ride. I know some of us are already on the ride. It's been quite a ride. So I wanted to start with the cards I pulled for this eclipse cycle. The first card of which is the High Priestess. And she is showing up like a kitty cat in this deck. It's the White Sage Tarot. If you don't know what that looks like, it's a beautiful hand-painted deck. Lovely. So High Priestess is asking us to go inward and to be still and be quiet and to listen and to allow cosmic and conscious cosmic energy to come in through everywhere, through the ether, through the heavens, through our body, through our aura, through our nightmares, through our sleep, through our waking days. So it's coming in no matter what, this information, so just be open to it. The other card that we have here is Four of Cups, and with that can be a lot of apathy and I don't like what I have, I want something different, I can't handle what I have, can it be different? So that kind of energy can be in swing here. We also have at the base of this reading a devilly temptation, Eden garden temptations. So months ago I felt like we were indulging in habits that could be addictive and that we needed to be careful. So more of the same here, things that are excesses to us, things that tempt us that maybe aren't in our best interests are definitely coming to the fore for us to look at and to embrace and go, what am I going to do with you now? You know, indulge or expel. Sometimes you just have to accept things in yourself and you have to be willing to roll with it. And this is a whole lot of what this energy is about. Like, there are going to be so many things that you might not feel really comfortable about that you're going to have to just, you know, not necessarily agree with, but go along with. So the world is coming up as well for well, all of us, we're just, our worlds are changing. Big worlds, little worlds, inner worlds, outer worlds, they're all up for renewal. Page of Pentacles is also coming up, and I like this card because to me, it takes some of the High Priestess energy that's all inward and coming in, and it takes it out into the world and it plays with it and it sees what it looks like against the landscape of our realities. So it's the so your ability to be able to listen to your inner wisdom and your inner voice and to be able to bring it out into the world so that it works for you and that it helps you accomplish your goals is a very important part of how you work with the energy during these cycles. Death comes to all of us, and we are constantly being asked to face death in one way or another, whether that's through jobs or relationships, places that we love, phases of our lives, our youth, our, in a sense, whatever it is. At times we go through death cycles, and rebirth cycles are usually entwined. So at the same time that we are being asked to dispel and cast off things that are not in our best interest or for our highest good anymore, then not to mention that they might have in the past, but they're not now, it's just great opportunity to constantly kick to the curb the things that don't work for you. And the eclipses a couple of years ago would have brought us into areas within relationships as well, and our relationship to ourselves and to things that have meaning for us. So in some ways you may be finishing, or these things would have culminated and completed around this time, or you may have recast the attention to things that weren't properly dealt with at the beginning of this eclipse cycle, or you weren't quite prepared to do. So now you're bringing some of these things into your focus as well. So also, you know, overall, this is an amazing period of time to think high, swing high, hope for the best, envision the best possible world you can for yourself, and be daring to take some step towards it. Polarities, I feel like we're really working with, not only in um, well, in all kinds of ways. So yeah, and I think it's going to be really easy to move between these exalted, oh, this is great, and these, oh my God, foreboding, horrible, dark places. So you really do have to have patience with yourself, knowing that you are the darkness, you are the light. You can't just be the light, and you can't just be dark, and you can't, you know, look at things darkly and then ignore the light of the situation. So you may be having some giant swings of insights that just hit you as well, like giant, you know, shakeups. Not to negate that there'd be enough of that going on in the outer world, but there do seem to be these earthquakes going on internally that are asking us to redefine and redirect and reconvene. So, and of course, we are in during, you know, this eclipse, we're still in a lot of retrograde cycles, and we've got a T-squaring Mars energy that's setting off a 6-month cycle. So the Sagittarian part of this new moon is bringing us into those fiery elements, those speak before I think kind of moments. So channeling your energy is going to be important if you're feeling the discourse or the discomfort of what's going on in humanity. So it will also be very important for you to temper your temper as well, and easier said than done. But that's going to be a continuation too. I mean, we really are going to have a lot of patience for everyone and everything, and understand that, you know, beau chaos, as the French say, beautiful chaos. It's a state of being that we can learn to work in, understanding that chaos only seeks balance anyway. That's why it's chaos, because it's trying to find it. So, you know, go with the flow as much as you can. These eclipses do have an impact. They're very strong. They can affect you in enormous ways without a whole lot of effort. Like, you know, sometimes people are, you know, suddenly pregnant under cycles where they couldn't get pregnant because, you know, they're just waiting for some eclipse energy to come in and swoop into their lives and shift things up. So open the door to things that are trying to reach you, and close the door to things you don't need anymore. And think of it that way. You have an opportunity to amplify the things that you want to progress into reality, by being willing to watch for the signs along the way. And again, I'm back to the high priestess energy and being your sleepy kitty cat this month, or, you know, even longer, because it's usually about a 6-month cycle that these things affect us. And then they, you know, can be reactivated by the other eclipse cycles that are coming after them, which there will be more. So really, as much as I'm trying to keep this to the immediate eclipse energy, it's still affecting us, you know, a year to 2 years into the future. So the decisions you make now, you know, try to make them with as much consciousness as you can, and as much surrender to whatever you feel must happen, if you can, as well, you know, let go of your need to have an outcome. Hold true instead to how you want it to feel when you get there, and then you can hold the vibrational state of creation. And decreating is also a part of creation. Destruction is creation in its own way. So understand that you are working as well as you are through a growth cycle. This is a death cycle as well, and we do have death as one of the cards as well. So what are you letting go of? saying goodbye to, and are you blessing it on its way out? It'd be a good thing to do to bless it. Blessings, blessings, blessings. So the other thing I got was the Ace of Wands, which are Ace of Wands, sorry. Just like a flash of lightning, how it lights up the whole landscape. All of a sudden you see everything all at once. That's the similar energy, like I just mentioned before, about these flashes of insights that can come to you. And those are amazing gifts, and they take a long time to culminate in ways that hit your field of vision in a way that you can understand them. So embrace those even if you don't understand them, and hold a state of, okay, show me what's next, spirit, and see what comes through. Because now more than ever, I feel like people are really able to grasp their unseen worlds within them. And if you can embrace it and roll with it and trust it and understand that it's working for your benefit regardless, then you have fabulous opportunities to catapult yourself just as easily as these eclipses are doing things for us. So can you do for yourself in the flow of them? So keep an open mind. For sure, don't limit your expectations as far as what you may be hoping to accomplish. Definitely reach as far as you can into the sky. So the other thing we did get was the Magician. I've been moving these all around. It's funny. Okay, so and then I had Hermit, and I like Hermit as well because it also gives me the indication that we really are being asked to go within, keep ourselves small and internal, figure out the landscape in there. Do we love ourselves? Do we value ourselves? Where do we need to do our repair work? How do we get out of this mess that we're in if we're in a mess? How do we get to the biggest next step? So your inner world is the outer world for a lot of reasons as well during this cycle. So I do feel like um, that we're still dealing with a lot of restrictions under this whole cycle. So where can you find freedom in those restrictions? Sometimes the things that hold us back are the things that set us free. So play with the dynamic of language and states of being, and understand that we are working in our polarity. So as nightmarish as we may be working to understand our own nightmares, I should say, so are we understanding our own brilliance. And the Hermit also has a lot of light to shine in the world and can bring in flashes of wisdom, just like the Ace of Swords can, just like the High Priestess can, just like death and transformation can, and the Devil, because everything is shining lights on parts of ourselves that are absolutely looking for attention and wanting to be whole within these parts of ourselves. And then we get Magician, which is fabulous because that is the ultimate alchemy of creation through elements and directional flow. And again, so you have all of these tools at your disposal that you can turn into other things. So things that you may have thought were your weaknesses suddenly become your strengths, and vice versa. Another thing to embrace is all of that and all that you are, and the ways that we're connected. And then we have Two of Pentacles, and here we are with balance and dualities and polarities, and working with all of those realities within ourselves again and again. So really, I think these eclipses are going to be about just you know excavating the authentic self and paying tribute to what it knows in its all-knowing state as far as what's best for us. And it might not always seem on the surface that it's good for us, but Spirit does have a plan, and it's magnificent in a lot of ways. I find that we have suddenly our 3 to 6 feet that we need to expand our auric selves, and strange way to get it, but here it is in society and it's ours to take. So claim your space and work towards the things that you want to see change, and be daring enough to take bold steps. And yeah, use your voice. That's the thing too with all this passion energy between the Mars and the Sagittarius. We have a lot to say. We have a lot that's been bottled up for lifetimes. It wants to come out. Parts of ourselves that have not been free that need to be freed from other lifetimes as well. Those memories and those senses in our bodies. So understand that a lot of this is non-negotiable. Like we are just doing it as a human race. It's happening every day. So you really, yeah, it's going to be a ride for sure. So now more than ever, choose with your heart and love in mind, and don't let your ego get too far out of check. Our ego is very limited in its ability to um, progress us spiritually, and that's really the demand that we're under right now, is to increase our spiritual consciousness and our willingness to accept that we have these unseen worlds of our own, that and unseen parts of ourselves that are begging us for acknowledgement and for time in the light. Yeah, that's how I see it. And so live in joy, because even with the things that are going wrong and that are dark and uncertain and seemingly unyielding in the universe that seems so terrible, just know that we're working towards a better world, and it's coming along at light speed in ways that have, I feel, have been underestimated. And enjoy the fact that you're here on the earth to witness such monumental change and be a part of it. Hold the frequency of what is best and what is highest good and what is enlightened perspectives. And, you know, working for the whole, and really embracing the fact that you're not really alone here, that you do have a lot at your disposal to use, talents and secret parts of yourself that are revealing. So try not to go a little wonky with all this information and downloadable, inserts that are coming along. Just try to embrace them as best you can, and um, yeah, and ground into the reality that um, we're in a change cycle. We're in a very highly accelerated change cycle, and the fans are on and the winds are moving. So embrace the winds of change and focus most on what you want, not what you don't want, and eliminate what you don't want without a whole lot of explanation or dramatic antics. Just peacefully allow things to move that need to move through you. So that would be my best advice for this cycle of doom and gloom and change and escalation for the nation. All right, so keep the faith, and like, you can still be happy in amongst messes. You can still find joy in uncertainty, and laugh a little, love a little, and then do it some more and find your way out of it. We have so much to look forward to as a race, as we're trying to get these lessons right. It's beautiful. And call it a battle of good and evil, or spiritual light and dark. It's all of the above. And work with your own inner darknesses And yeah, keep working. Keep on trucking. I'll be back for the next eclipse because I'm sure I've got lots to say about that. And you know, go with your flow, people. And if you're gonna be impassioned and passionate, then do it in ways that work to heal or transcend into new ways of doing things. Don't get stuck in the old if it's not working, just because you want to hold on to something. It'd be better just to cast off and let go and trust the universe has a better way of doing it. So it's my best case scenario for now. And I hope you do really well this month and next and far beyond. Thanks. Yeah, definitely have a great week.